The defense showed up today. The defense showed up today. Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. Today's video is a recap of OTA 8. And yes, OTA 8 is in the books. We are now 2 OTAs away from mandatory minicamp, a break, and then returning back for training camp and preseason. And I'm so excited for New York Giants football. We're getting closer and closer to that opening day against the Dallas Cowboys on primetime Sunday Night Football, and I can't wait for that. You already know how I feel about that game. Giants are going to go ahead and take that. Giants are definitely going to go ahead and take that against the Dallas Cowboys. So I was on Giants.com today, reading a couple articles that they put out, looking at some of the pictures that they put out from practice, and there were a couple players that they showcased. And again, this was a good performance day for the defense. One of the names that came up early in the article was Javarius Owens, and they were talking about how this man has been flashing his coverage skills all throughout OTAs. Now, when we drafted Javarius Owens in the 7th round, safety from Houston, he was known to be a thumper. So, you already have that aggressive side of him. Now he's showing that he's able to make plays in pass coverage. That's exactly what you want to hear, because, again, we know that this safety spot next to Xavier McKinney right now, it seems like this competition is wide open. We know that Belton is available for that spot. You got Bobby McCain, the free agent that we picked up. You have Pinnock. You have McLeod that's getting snaps at safety. And now you have the rookie Javarius Owens making plays as well and being noticed. His name made the article. So that's a fantastic. This competition is probably going to be one of the best going into training camp. And I did make that list in my previous video for the top 4 position battles going into training camp. So it doesn't stop there. Also, Cordell Flott and Trey Hawkins, the other rookie draft pick that we have, cornerback, were able to break up a couple passes today as well. And then Deonte Banks was able to get his hands on a couple passes as well today. And we know that just the last OTA, Deonte Banks got his first interception. So the secondary is doing what they need to do now. I know in the first few OTAs, the offense seemed like they was just zipping the ball all over the place, and they did that today as well, but it was a strong emphasis on how good the defense showed today, but I'll get into the offense a little bit later. Also, we had an interception from McKinney today. Also, he broke up some passes too, so I'm just happy that the man caught the ball. We're still trying to figure out exactly how far along he is in this rehab with his hand. If the man is able to catch an interception in practice, that means he should be able to catch one in the game. So I'm excited about that news. And that's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear, especially when you have a guy that was on the verge of being a Pro Bowler, and McKinney has the ability to be a consistent Pro Bowler. And he's back recovering and making some plays in practice, albeit as OTAs, but still, when you're starving for football content, these articles that we receive and that we read from Giants.com, from the guys that are there, are fantastic to read, especially when there's good news. Again, the offense was shining early on in OTAs. Now you see the defense starting to pick up and do a couple of things, and I'm excited about that. So let's get back to the offensive side of things now. DJ did have touchdowns to Slayton today. He also had touchdown in the back of the end zone from Hyatt. So you like that they're building that chemistry as well. There was also a couple big plays that didn't result in the touchdowns, but he was hitting Paris Campbell and Darren Waller as well, throughout practice in 7-on-7. So that's the main thing, building this chemistry. Daniel Jones, you have new weapons. You have Hyatt, you have Campbell, and you have Waller, and all these guys are showing their worth and showing that chemistry early on in OTAs. Can't wait to see him with the pads on and able to do those things, in training camp and also in preseason. But it's days like this where you're building that chemistry in 7-on-7s, where you're learning somebody's speed, where you're learning somebody's tendencies, and that way the quarterback has a better relationship on getting that ball where it needs to go. So you're catching people in stride, or you're catching people out of the breaks. It gives you that extra advantage. So shout out to Daniel Jones and his receiving crew, including the tight ends, getting that chemistry, building that chemistry together. Also today, Lawrence Cager, David Sills, and also Jadon Mickens also scored touchdowns today, some by Tyrod Taylor and also some by Tommy DeVito. Now, I want to talk about Lawrence Cager just a little bit. So Lawrence Cager, obviously he's listed as a tight end, kind of the same mold as a Darren Waller. We are pretty much a rocked up wide receiver playing tight end. And we want to talk about this tight end position very, very quickly, or the tight end room very, very quickly. Now, some people think we might keep 3 tight ends. Some people think we might keep 4 tight ends. I think about last year, and I think about Chris Myrick, who, even though he wasn't listed as a tight end, he was listed as a fullback. He's still a guy that can also be can also give you tight end snaps. And we saw him do it in a pinch last year when Daniel Bellinger went down. And I think it's going to be pretty much the same thing. So if they're familiar with Myrick, I believe he plays that same role. And then you're looking at the rest of that tight end room. You have Waller, you have Bellinger, and then you pretty much narrow it down between Sweeney and Lawrence Cager. Cager needs to be able to make plays in OTAs and minicamp and practice in order to stick to this squad. Because in my opinion, you don't, after Darren Waller, you don't have another tight end in that same mold. So naturally, for me, I would think, Lawrence Cager can be that guy. But again, the competition is the competition, and you have to be able to make these plays. So hearing his name today, that he was able to get a touchdown in OTAs, I'm liking that too, because to me it's Myrick, and then it's Bellinger, and then it's Waller, and then most likely it's going to be Cager rounding out that tight end room, and again that bonus fullback Chris Myrick, who's really a tight end but listed as a fullback, H-back type of role. But that's going to be my recap of the day. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.